brought to you by BoardGameAtlas.com, the fastest growing board game community in the world. Kia ora koutou, and welcome to Season 3 of 3 Minute Board Games. Season 3. That means we've done 2 whole years of this, and if you told me when we started that I'd still be doing this 2 years later, I probably would have called you a liar. But the terrifying thing is not that we've done this for 2 years, but that we've managed to get 30,000 subscribers and 3 million views on the channel. Those are numbers I absolutely did not think were possible when I kicked this project off. And they are so far beyond our wildest expectations for 3 Minute Board Games that they still don't feel quite real. So a big thank you from Steph and I to everyone who's watched the channel, to all of our subscribers, to everyone who's made a comment, and especially to the people on Patreon. A channel is absolutely nothing without its viewers. In this video, I'm going to make 5 major announcements. 5 significant things that are going to change how 3 Minute Board Games works in Season 3. And the first big announcement is that we are starting to do game giveaways to our Patreon supporters. Over the last couple of months, I've talked to publishers who've been wanting me to do reviews, and I've asked them to hold back a copy of that game in order for us to give it away to someone on our Patreon. Now, this won't just be for subscribers or people watching the channel, it'll be for people on Patreon only. And the reason for that is Patreon is the main way we fund this channel. We don't do a Kickstarter, we don't run our own convention, and it just feels like a nice way to give back to the people who have supported the channel. Now, this won't be for every single game we cover, but should be for some of the exciting titles we have coming up. The second big announcement is that we have launched the 3minuteboardgames.com website. The website is live right now, so go check it out when you're done with this video. And while it's relatively low on features at the moment, we do have plans to add a whole bunch more over the coming months. The website also gives me the opportunity to try my hand at written reviews for games that I don't necessarily want to spend the time doing a full video on. And just generally, it gives 3 Minute Board Games content a home where it can all live. And if you've got any advice or suggestions on how we can improve this site, let me know in the comments of this video or on the site itself. The third big announcement is that Stephanie is probably, almost certainly, could be doing more content this year. Unfortunately, she's not very well at the moment, so she couldn't record this video. Instead, she's sitting on the sofa feeling rather miserable right now. So if you could all send her well wishes, that would be most appreciated. What I do know is she wants to do short form reviews of her own, but in a different style to mine. And these videos will be written, shot, and edited entirely by her, much like her top 25 was. So if you're excited to see Steph do more on the channel, let us know in the comments, send her a get well message, and let her know you want to hear from her. So just before the next announcement, I want to bring up that we also have a podcast that we've been doing. Now, this is not a regular podcast. We're not doing it every week or so. We've only done 2 of them, and we're doing a 3rd one coming up. So it's probably a bi-monthly podcast. Our last episode included Sam MacDonald, designer of Architects of the West Kingdom and Paladins of the West Kingdom. And for the upcoming episode, we're going to be interviewing Jarrett Gray, designer of Endeavour. And we're hoping to get Shem Phillips later in the year. I'll put some links to the podcast in the description of the video below. And just before the 4th announcement, I want to talk about how much work actually goes into a 3 Minute Board Games video. They're only 3 minutes long, but there's a heck of a lot of work that has to take place in order to make the videos that short. As weird as that sounds, it's easier to just set up a camera and talk for 20 minutes than it is to do one of these videos. Not only do we have to play the game, and I like to play the game about 5 times, I also try to read and reread the rulebook multiple times. And once that's done, we set up still photos. Now, 3 Minute Board Games is almost entirely stop motion photography. So each photo has to be individually set up, taken, and in pieces adjusted slightly, and a new photo taken. I take roughly 120 photos per video. That process takes anywhere up to 4 hours. Once those photos are taken, I edit them in Photoshop, and that can take an hour or so. Then I write a script. And the tricky thing about writing a script for this is that we have an absolute word limit on the amount we can say in a video. I can't go into every single detail. I have to be economical with language. And that means the script writing actually takes a wee bit of time, usually about 2 hours. Once the script's done, I sit down and record the audio. That's actually one of the quicker parts of the process. I normally nail it in about 1 or 2 takes, but then I have to audio edit it. And this is quite a tricky process because in order to make the video as tight and concise as possible, there is a lot of fine trimming and fine editing within the audio. So this process can take 30 minutes to an hour. Then it's another 2 hours to assemble the video and apply all the effects. Then we render and upload. then 30 minutes to do subtitles, and another 30 minutes to post it to all the places it needs to be posted. You add that all up, it's about 12 hours work per video, and that doesn't count dealing with comments, Patreon, and our Discord channel. And for most of the run of 3 Minute Board Games, I've been doing 2 of those a week, and working full time. And that brings me to our next announcement. We're doing less videos this year. I know most channels, the bigger they get, the more content they want to put out. But for me, that's just not practical. Working full time for 40 hours a week and then spending 20 to 30 hours a week on the channel gives me very little spare time. And the reason I keep doing it's not the money, of course. It's that I really enjoy the process. I like talking about games. I like making the content. I like feeling needed. Who wouldn't? But I also recognize that this is a recipe for me falling in a heap sometime in the near future because I've been working 70-hour weeks non-stop for 2 years. This channel isn't enough to live on. Even if I put out lots and lots of content, if I'm not doing paid content, I can't live off YouTube. Not unless this channel got absolutely massive. So I'm being realistic here. I also enjoy my day job. And for those of you who don't know, I work for the Department of Conservation in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I like working there, and I like doing stuff on the channel. But I also feel I'll need a break, or I'll need to tone down the tempo a little just to stay sane. So the plan is to go from doing 2 reviews a week to 1 review a week with 1 bonus video per month. Mid-year, I'm going to reevaluate that based on the level of our Patreon support and how work is going at the time. And I may reduce my work days from 5 days a week to 4 days a week so I can contribute 1 more day to the channel. That would allow us to pick back up to 2 reviews a week. And to finish the video off, here's the final announcement. If you remember back to Season 1, this is how our intro, our mechanics, and everything else looked at that time. At our 1-year anniversary, we rebranded to this. And these are our new graphics and new intro. So of course, with Season 3 coming, we're doing a full rebrand and updating all of the mechanics and all of the graphics for the channel. And if you didn't find that announcement particularly exciting, here's some of the videos we've got coming up in the very near future. So that's our update for Season 3. A whole bunch of announcements. Patreon giveaway, the website, Steph doing content, us reducing our overall output to manage burnout, and a total rebrand with some hot new games coming. I'd like to take this time to thank all of our current patrons. You guys are superstars. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and making this dream come true. And to all our future patrons, come on board. We have cookies and stuff. And if you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, check out our website, check out our podcast, and support us on Patreon.